Including the 4,032-room Excalibur, the city is home to 9 of the world's 10 largest hotels. With the advent of air conditioning, covered shopping malls have become a way of life. Fashion Show Mall is a one-of-a-kind collection of 144 extraordinary shops and stores. Memorabilia of a vacation and remembrance for those who stayed behind. The well-appointed gift shops and their offerings are as unique as Las Vegas itself. Old Nevada, a thematic reproduction of a Nevada boomtown, was opened on Bonnie Springs Ranch in 1974. Museums, specialty shops, rough wooden structures, and sidewalks recreate the atmosphere of the Old West. Melodrama is added to the scene by simulated gunfights and hangings, law and order in frontier society. More than 150 years ago, the area was a resting place for travelers. Now it serves as a reminder, a representation of a vanished way of life. Award-winning paintings, sculpture, and ceramics are part of the permanent collection housed in the Las Vegas Art Museum. Exhibits of artworks by internationally known artists are frequently on display. From the artworks of man to nature's incomparable masterpieces, Southern Nevada is a place of discovery. Sandstone spires, domes, sawtooth ridges, intricately eroded formations. The Valley of Fire is continually intriguing in shape, texture, and color. Designated Nevada's first state park in 1935, its name was conceived from the spectacle of the sun's rays diffused on red rock. For eons of time, the present desert existed as the watery world of the ocean. Eventually, the sea retreated from the region, leaving layer upon layer of sediment. For tens of millions of years, the barren desert was covered by lofty sand dunes. carved and swirled by harsh winds, subjected to a relentless attack by rain, heat, and cold. These rocks have been weathered by eons of erosion, creating the unique world of shape and form that is the Valley of Fire. Along etched and scoured surfaces, arches, holes, and hollows reflect the flow of time. This is an environment of searing summer temperatures. Hardy plants have evolved special adaptations to survive and space themselves to avoid competition for water. You are looking across 150 million years of time. The great maze of canyons, domes, towers, ridges, and valleys before you are carved from sand deposited during the time when dinosaurs walked the earth. This is wild, virtually untouched wilderness. There was a time when the climate was considerably different. Petrified logs attest to the presence of an ancient forest. The trees are pines that grew during the great age of reptiles. While the log was buried, groundwater worked its way into the microscopic air spaces in the woody tissues, completely filling available space with minerals. People adapted to the desert not by evolution, but by ingenuity. A legacy of early man is carved on the smooth faces of sandstone. The petroglyphs were likely put here by prehistoric Indians more than 1,000 years ago. Having no paper or writing instruments, the Indians carefully carved shapes and figures into the soft sandstone. They may be hunting information, historical records, clan or religious symbols, or just art. Shrouded in mystery, they are an important link to past cultures, a people who adapted to an inhospitable environment. There are approximately 115 species of mammals in Nevada. Most, such as rodents, shrews, and bats, are small. They are rarely seen, partly because many are nocturnal. There are also a number of larger species with which most people are familiar. Several are featured in these miniature dioramas, which were started in 1944 and completed in 1946. The Ethel M. Chocolate's Cactus Garden is a 2-acre desert landscape with over 300 different varieties of cacti, succulents, trees, and shrubs native to the Southwest and Australia. More than 400 tons of rock were used to create the stunning displays for the cacti. Over 1,000 guests visit the Ethel M. Chocolates plant each day for a first-hand look at how premium chocolates are made. The panorama begins in the kitchen area, where centers are prepared and fudge is made. All ingredients are fresh and top of the line. Established in Las Vegas in 1978, the company manufactures over 50 different chocolates. After centers are enrobed in dark or milk chocolate and shells are filled with cherry cordials or liqueurs, fresh off-the-line chocolates are packed by hand in stock boxes. They will be arranged into pre-packed assortments or shipped to the Ethel M. Chocolate shops. The Las Vegas Convention Center, opened in 1959, has played a leading role in the success story of the city. The ultra-modern center, with 1 million square feet of meeting and exhibit space, is a setting for cultural and sports events as well as conventions. It has drawn visitors from every state. Surging colors brighten a dusky evening. The city is signaled awake and its pulse quickens. Las Vegas is a city enamored of neon. Rising out of wasteland like the shimmering mirage of a Babylonian carnival, forests of jeweled hotels, gambling palaces, and a stream of illuminated marquees blaze multicolored lighting against a darkening sky. The lights that burn in the most visually exciting city anywhere are fueled by money. Greed is the spark. It all began long ago. Completion of Boulder Dam promised Las Vegas a new life from tourism, and another major event radically changed the destiny of the town. In March 1931, gambling was legalized. From the town's very beginning, gaming establishments had prospered. The Arizona Club was one of the first brick buildings on Fremont Street. Its elegant interior brought luxury to the entertainment scene. By the mid-1940s, the electrically lit signs of the gaming houses forecast Las Vegas' brightest future. A new type of gaming resort was destined to change the small-town image when in 1941, the first hotel opened on an outlying highway that would later be known as the Strip. By 1949, the gross revenue from gambling reached almost $21 million. The town, no longer a railroad stop, was becoming a city. Gaming resort development boomed, and in the 1970s, the growth and prosperity from the non-stop pace that had been set in the 40s was reflected in an urbane atmosphere and a sophisticated skyline. Entertainers bolstered the income of the gambling tables. World-renowned performers and competitive marquee power were the lure to bring other hotels' guests into the casinos. Significant to the city's gambling growth was the influx of experienced gambling operators in the 1940s. With them came the expertise and capital to operate large casinos. Fremont Street developed into a great white way known as Glitter Gulch. Here was the city without clocks, the excitement on the crap tables with the click of the dice, the calls, yells, and wishes of the eager, the clatter of slot machines, and the clink of money to be heard 24 hours a day. Howard Hughes arrived in 1966 and introduced the corporate image. Embarking on a 4-year buying spree, he attained 6 major resort hotels. 4 years later, he abruptly departed. But the unseen presence of the most powerful man in the state had brought respectability to gambling. It was now accepted as a legitimate industry. Throughout the city, flashy signs offer solicitations, luring visitors into the gaudy gambling palaces where all entrances lead to the casinos. Gambling has existed in every society. It is as old as human history. In Greek mythology, the pantheon of gods rolled dice for shares of the universe. At least one was suspected of cheating. Dice have been found in Egyptian tombs, the ruins of Pompeii, and marked cards in ancient English monasteries. Biblical history affirms that Moses divided the promised land by lottery. The first roulette wheel appeared in Egypt, but it was an American who invented the slot machine in 1895. In Las Vegas, legalized gambling means precise and vigilant controls to guarantee an honest deal of cards, roll of the dice, spin of a slot machine reel. The age of electronics has brought more to gambling in Las Vegas than cards, dice, and slot machines.
They head towards the quarter pole, and it's still Becky Champagne leading it. Lovely Allura going after her, and Rare Appeal waiting for room down at the rail. Between those two is Magical Maggie. The favourite Sea Song is well beaten. They come for home. Lovely Allura on the outside. Lovely Allura now gets the lead with 1/8 of a mile to go. Magical Maggie trying to go with her, but it's Lovely Allura now in front by a length as they pass the 16th pole. And Lovely Allura now drawing clear. Lovely Allura wins it going away.